Hi guys, this is your friendly neighborhood AYawningCat, and we are here with a house build video. So I have done a tiny house before, and I really enjoyed making one. Now the thing about me is I like interior decor, and I do like getting new stuff with stuff packs and just in general I like getting new stuff and experimenting with it. And obviously we've got laundry day stuff, and it has a lot of different types of items that, yes, we can't use because we got a lot of decor items, but I feel like they are very cute and very rustic, and it's a whole new feel that you can sort of add onto your game. And I definitely don't feel like we had anything like this before. Now of course we got some different culture stuff with city living. We got, with every single pack we get new stuff with a whole different style. And I feel like, in a lot of ways, if you build, if you yourself build, or if you like to, just download pre-built houses and stuff, I feel like you can always get sort of stuck on one single style, and then you're like, you know what, that's it, that's me. I do this sort of stuff. But I feel like I want to experiment. Like, in the very beginning, once I started building, I built a lot of modern houses. I don't know why, they just sort of, they captivated me with their aesthetic, and I felt like modern houses were it for me, even though before I was like, I don't like modern style and stuff. And so once we started getting more and more different, once again, stuff and new furniture and decor items, I sort of wanted to give myself more space to experiment. And I feel like tiny house builds are so freaking cute. Okay, if you know me, if you've been on this channel for some time, you know that I don't like big houses. They are a struggle for me to build. I don't, not that I couldn't, I just don't feel like they're my style of house. I don't like having so much space, because I believe that you can cram everything that you need into a smaller space and feel a lot more at home and cozy and everything. And so tiny house builds that I saw pop up, on my feed from simmers all around the world, I felt like that is a great idea for builders to build tiny houses, especially for those that perhaps don't have always built large houses and want to experiment with something. And for me, this is sort of my new, I'm not going to say comfort zone, but I am comfortable with building tiny houses. But there's also always a challenge of how you're going to put all the stuff in, how are you going to make things look good. And this tiny house, now it's around 33.5 simoleons, so it isn't a very cheap tiny house, obviously, because usually if you make, a starter, you usually aim for like 20 simoleons to be your price, sort of, I don't know, price bar. I don't know how you would say that in English, but sue me. But I feel like when you're building tiny houses, you don't really look at the price, you look at the aesthetic, and I find this aesthetic so freaking pleasing. And may I just say, in this build, I sort of completely forgot that we have the scale down bar until I started. Actually, I tried the scale down bar with the little round window just a couple of seconds ago, but or a minute ago, I have no idea. But when I started putting down the ivy, I realized we have the scale down button, so I can scale down all the items that I want if I want to have a variety of sizes of ivy growing on this house. Basically, I feel like with every stuff pack that we get, with every game pack, with any sort of pack that we get, whether it's free or you have to pay for it, we get more and more opportunities. And I mean, they added the different roofs, and they added the scale down bracket, which was in demand since we got the scale up bracket, which we, I think, had all the time since the beginning of the game. So I feel like for a builder in The Sims 4, the game is really good. Obviously, we can't build a house that's like, 10 stories high. We can't really add on that many levels to a house, but what we've got so far seems like it seems like enough, and it seems a really, really good amount of customization that we can do. So this tiny house, oh my goodness. So I plopped all the new items that we got with the stuff pack. You can still see them all on like the lawn in front of the house. And I wanted to just see what we've got and then use as many items as possible. Obviously, it's a tiny house, it's a tiny space, and you can't really just cram everything into it, but I wanted to see what I could use and what a person with a limited space could use in a house. And we've got some cute stuff here. Now, I feel like the color palette is really diverse. Like it has neutrals, but it also has pops of color, and I feel like that's really, really important for The Sims 4, because The Sims 4 is very colorful. If compared to other games, it is a really, really colorful game, and the color aesthetic is it matches. You can have stuff from like backyard stuff pack, and you can have laundry day stuff pack, and you can merge those two together and do a lot of stuff with color. You don't just have to live in a black and white house. So I really, really, really like the stuff that we got in the laundry day stuff. Now, you can argue, that the content that we got with laundry day stuff, meaning, the fact that we have laundry now, is kind of boring, and we've already had it in another game. And I, for one, did not vote for laundry. I think I voted for, I have no idea. I think it was Off the Grid. I think I voted for Off the Grid when there was, voting and stuff. And I do have a little conspiracy theory, and you can hear me out if you want. I have a little conspiracy theory that they sort of, they might have just simply hijacked our answers. I mean, because technically you can't really see how many people voted for what, because Max's team is responsible for the data collection. So I mean, there is, ways to fool us, the people, us people, the people that consume their content. There is a way to fool us and tell us you picked laundry day stuff. But there is also, like I said, this is a conspiracy theory. There's always a way for them to just say that we picked it, but they make us feel like we picked it, but they actually just sort of, fake the data, and they're like, well, we've actually a couple of months ago created, these washing machines and and dryers and stuff, and we started making some furniture models, so we're gonna say that you picked laundry day stuff. I, for one, did not want laundry. I feel like it's very basic. The one where you could make food preservatives and you could make like jams and stuff, I felt like that would have been a lot cooler, and I know that there's a mod for it, but once again, and I mentioned it in the cast video, the Townie makeover cast video, that I feel like there are a lot of people that don't want custom content, and they don't want mods in their game, or they want as few mods as possible. And then adding on like these items and these, stations for making jams and stuff, it does cramp up your computer's memory, and it does sort of run your CPU higher and higher with every additional script mod that you add. So I was kind of hoping that they were gonna give us something different, but we've got laundry, and you know what? I don't care for it that much, but LGR, Lazy Game Review channel, he did point out that, obviously, if you don't put down a hamper or like laundry day related stuff, you're not gonna get dirty laundry, and you won't have to deal with the problem of laundry. But I just wish that we got something else. But when it comes to the furniture and the decor items, I am happy. I am happy with the decor items, because I feel like I can cram more cute stuff into, my small apartments and into my tiny houses, and I can make them really, really adorable. But that's not the issue, I just feel like we could have gotten something else. We got washing machines and a wash bucket, which is at least cool that they gave us an off-the-grid-ish, air quotes, version of laundry day stuff, where you can just wash your clothes and dry them outside, and like wash your clothes in a little tub outside, and that's cool and all, but I mean, imagine we get seasons now and you've got a wash tub outside and you have to wash your clothes wearing a winter jacket when it's snowing and it's freezing outside. That is just not reasonable, right? So you can't really live off the grid-ish way and not consume energy and resources that you have to consume with a washing machine. You can't really live that way anymore if seasons come along, because then it's cold and it's damp and it's raining on your wet laundry, and that will just not make sense for me. So there's a little rant for you. And the thing is, when I do rants, it's not like I don't hate the game and I don't hate the creators, and I know that this is a lot of hard work. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand how much hard work goes into making a functional piece of the game that doesn't glitch out, or at least doesn't glitch out as much. Obviously, they have patch days and stuff like that for problems like that. But I just felt like I wanted something else. I wanted more. But that's that. We got what we got, and I really, really, really love the stuff that we got. Would I have preferred, at least one bed and one dresser that was functional, that looked like it had laundry on it? Yes, I wish they would have made, one of those little cabinets that has like tied with like a bow, like tied piles and little baskets of laundry and stuff. I wish they had made that item into a dresser, for example, and then it's a functioning item instead of just a decor item that takes up like 3 squares on your floor. Would I have wanted that? Would I have wanted for them to add just a couple of actual usable items, or like to make it so that if you press on the, for example, spice rack that we got, that you could, start making food, or like spicy food? Sure. I wish that more items were actually functionable, because that's how real life works. Every single thing that you have, you can use in one way or another. But, we have what we have. I am happy with the items. As you can see, the tiny house build is turning out really, really cute. And one other thing, I am happy with the color selection. Like I said, the swatches have variety. And I wanted to make this house a sort of, that sort of bohemian vibe that Laundry Day stuff brings us. And I don't necessarily love the candles that we got. I feel like they look, they're not great. They don't have enough swatches. They don't have colorful swatches. They just have like these neutral ones, and I wish they would have put a couple of colors into the candles, like at least red and that sort of greenish pale blue or something like that. I wish they had put more swatches on that. But all in all, you can make a really colorful house that sort of matches in that variety of shades and colors really, really well. And I feel like even if you don't have an eye for matching and mixing different colors, I feel like the swatches that we got are pretty easy to manipulate and to do a lot with. However, like I said, do I wish we didn't get laundry? Do I wish that we got something else, something more interesting, something that's not so freaking mundane, like washing your clothes? Yes, of course. Now you're gonna see me using the Parenthood game pack stove and fridge again, but baby, it's my favorite. It's my favorite kitchen item right now. Like, and the counters and everything, I feel like they do have a pretty good variety of colors, and I feel like the styles are very like rustic, and you can do a lot of stuff with that as well. So if you're angry about me using the same stove over and over again, just know that all the other ones look like shit to me, and they look way too basic and way too like meh. And the one we got with the Parenthood game pack just looks interesting, and it feels like a real item and not just like a square with a couple of drawn-on buttons on it, So I really, really, really love this build. I really, really love it. I kind of want to make a sim and just play with this house because it's really, 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 really cute. And I am proud of myself that I made it the way that I did. I think it took me about, how much did it take me? I have like no idea. It took me about like an hour and a half to make this house. The tinier the house, the more struggles I have with like furnishing, because I try really hard to make it as cute as possible, but I hope you guys like it. A little update about moi. I am going to be filming the Ugly Duckling challenge pretty soon. Now, you know, it's challenge. I did post on a couple of groups on Facebook. I wanted people to, you know, make suggestions and stuff, but I didn't get any responses, and not a lot of people caught on to comment on the challenge. So I guess I'm just gonna start doing it and see how it goes. Because, I mean, of course, I want the community to add on to what I'm doing, but if the community is silent, I'm still gonna do it, and then we're just gonna figure out stuff as we go. So yeah, Ugly Duckling challenge coming soon. I have no idea if I'm gonna film today or the next week, but it is coming pretty soon-ish. I just sort of have to, you know, muster up the courage and the desire to record, and it will be up soon. I've got pre-recorded episodes of like 16 and Pregnant, which I'm going to edit. I've got another Townie makeover of Eliza Pancakes that I have ready. I just have to render it and then upload it. You know, I've got this build video. I am doing stuff little by little, but I'm also sort of considering switching jobs, you know, in real life, and that is going to take up some of my time. So, you know, hopefully you understand this 24-year-old that is talking to you through her microphone and through her videos, and you're going to, you know, be understanding of the fact that, you know, real life still exists beyond The Sims 4, and sometimes balancing everything makes you have to prioritize and decide what you want to do, you know, that day and stuff. So hopefully you'll understand that, and hopefully you're gonna stick around and just see where this channel goes. So like I said in a couple of videos before, the end goal for this year is to get to 100 subscribers, and I would really love if you could, if you're not yet subscribed, subscribe, or if you've got somebody that, you know, watches Sims videos too, maybe you'd like to suggest my channel to them, or, you know, not. But that would be really great if you could just, you know, share, or just throw in a hint to somebody you know and tell them to check me out. Or like I said, if you're watching this and you're not yet a member of the fam, what are you doing? So yeah, I have plans for this channel. I'm not abandoning it, even though sometimes it's really hard to deal with the fact that, you know, I've still got a pretty small audience, but the audience that I have is great, and I love you guys, and I really appreciate you. I gave you guys a shout out in the Townie makeover video for Alice, Spencer, Kim, the ones that, you know, comment on my videos, so feel free to do that. You know, you don't actually have to just comment about what I'm doing. You can just comment, ask me a question. Major Fox is one of the coolest people that I've met on this channel. She actually asked me, you know, whether or not I've always been into Sims, or did I get into Sims with Sims 3 and Sims 4. And to answer this question to you guys as well, I actually started playing The Sims 2 because I was very young, too young to even understand computers when Sims 1 was out, because I think it came out in 1997 or early. I don't think it's early 2000s. I think it was a 90s game, wasn't it? I've got my facts wrong, if anything. And the thing is, we would go to one of our friends' house, and she had, you know, The Sims 2. She had a really good computer. She had this huge room. She lived in a huge house. She was a wealthy girl. And so she would invite us, me and a couple of other girls, over to her place, and we would play The Sims 2, and it would be literally, she would turn on the game, and we would each get to play for like an hour. And so we would either play the same family, or like we would create a new family and play around. And I remember she had like the wizard something. She had, not the wizard. She had, I think, like, was there something connected to magic, like a stuff pack or something? She had all of them. She had pets. And so we just played with that. I would play for an hour, and then another girl would sit at the computer. We would just watch each other play. And it was really cool. It was a sort of, it was a whole new game that, you know, nobody else had. I mean, it was a unique game, and nobody else was doing what the Sims 4 team was doing, what EA was doing, and so it was really, really fun, and that's where I started. I hope you guys enjoyed the rant and the storytelling and everything, and I want to thank you guys for watching, and subscribe, like, comment, and I will see you soon. Bye!